You are welcome to the Reddit Guy channel, where unbelievable Reddit stories are revealed. Let's get into today's story. My uncle is acting strangely with my sister. To be blunt, I noticed that my uncle, a 49-year-old man, has been paying a lot of attention to my sister, who is 14. It is not just that he gives her more gifts or seems to prefer her, but whenever we show up to his house for a family event or something similar, he constantly comments on how she looks. He is always doing things like patting her lower back, rubbing her shoulders, or grabbing her waist without warning, and the gifts he gives her are noticeably more expensive than what he gives anyone else. At first, it seemed fine. He was there when my sister was born and was one of the first people to hold her, so she has always been his favorite to an extent, and he has always spoiled her. But it feels like I blinked and suddenly he started acting like this. I do not know exactly when the behavior changed, but I noticed it about a week ago, and we have not been to his house since then. I tried talking to my grandma about it, but she brushed it off. My parents are always too busy, and I'm scared to tell our other extended family because my grandma dismissed me the first time. I do not want to ignore it, but I'm also scared of telling anyone else in case I'm overreacting. What should I do? Edit. This is not really an update, but for the people who asked, I have not talked to my sister about it yet. I'm planning to do so later. We're at our grandma's house right now, and considering that she brushed me off already, I do not want to cause too much of a fuss if she overhears me bringing it up again. I'm also planning to talk to our parents as soon as we get home. All your comments drilling it into my head that I needed to tell them really helped. Thank you for helping me not be a coward, and for your support in general. Let's take some comments. Commenter 1. Did you tell your parents? Reply from OP. I have tried, but they both work and are frequently out of the house, so I have not been able to really talk to them about it. Commenter 2. Do you literally never see them? It only takes 30 seconds to tell them. Reply from OP. They work from early morning until nighttime. I am usually at school, or on the weekends I'm at our grandma's house. That is why I told our grandma first, because I thought she would be able to tell our parents, since they would probably listen to her better than me. Commenter 3. Are your parents kind people? Do they have narcissistic tendencies? I'm asking because I grew up with a mother who was not all there and definitely had narcissistic traits, and a father who avoided people and worked all the time. Reply from OP. I do not really understand what you mean, but my parents do work a lot and they are not abusive to me or my siblings. I just think they're overworked and don't have the time to worry about us. Update 1. I'm not sure if I'm doing this correctly, but I have seen people do updates this way before, so I will try. First of all, thank you to everyone who commented and gave me advice. I talked to my sister as soon as we got home from our grandma's. It turns out she was aware that it was weird, but she actually liked it at first. She said our uncle was nicer to her than our parents and that the gifts were nice. She said she only started feeling uncomfortable when he began touching her in the ways I mentioned in my previous post. Because she had already been accepting his gifts, she thought it would be rude to suddenly start saying no. When I asked when it started, she revealed that he began touching her that way when she turned 12. She said it only happened when they were alone in her room. Because we visit so often, our uncle and aunt have guest rooms set up for me and my siblings, and she said that was why her door specifically had no lock. She also said she was scared to tell anyone because both our grandma and aunt brushed it off when she was 12, saying she had always been his favorite and that she was probably misreading things because she was a teenager. I showed her your comments. She had never heard the word grooming before and was shocked and a little angry, saying her uncle would never do something like that. I eventually convinced her to tell our parents together, even if it was just to ask them to stop him from touching her. I also sent texts to our parents explaining that my sister was uncomfortable with our uncle's behavior. They have not responded yet and only said, "We'll talk about it when we get home." They're both working late and probably won't be home until nighttime. Update 2. I'm sorry if this is not allowed, but I am really confused and angry right now and don't know what to do. Our parents got home an hour ago and my sister and I talked to them. My mom was furious. My dad was surprised, but he also revealed something shocking. He admitted that our uncle, his brother, had been acting weirdly with my sister but did nothing because he did not think he would ever try anything with his kids and thought he had changed. He then admitted that our uncle had done something similar to one of my cousins years before my sister was born. Our grandma caught him and got him into therapy instead of reporting him. According to my dad, our grandma made our uncle promise not to do it again. Our aunt knew about it too and claimed that cousin had tempted him, which is why that cousin no longer speaks to the family. My mom did not know any of this. They argued and she threatened divorce and a restraining order if my dad did not report his brother. My dad refused and called our grandma. I'm overwhelmed. My sister seems okay right now, and that's all that matters to me. I feel so angry that I keep thinking about hurting him even though I know that's wrong. I suggested the police or school counselors, but my sister doesn't want to. She's embarrassed and afraid she'll be blamed. I keep telling her she did nothing wrong, but she won't budge. Update 3. A lot has happened and I have been overwhelmed. In short, my parents are divorcing and my mom took all of us to her parents' house. My mom signed my sister up for therapy and plans to report everything herself. She's also trying to get a restraining order. She's exhausted and stressed, trying to care for 5 kids while working. She keeps telling us not to worry and that she will handle it. Update 4. Not much has changed legally, but emotionally, a lot has. My dad keeps calling me saying I shouldn't have interfered and that the adults had it under control. My mom took my phone away because of this. Our cousin eventually reached out and confirmed that what happened to her was worse. She cut off the family because our dad allowed our uncle back into our lives anyway. For some lighter news, my sister is turning 15 soon. She likes her therapist, journals, draws anime, and seems okay most days. We thought things were improving. Update 5. I didn't think I would ever post again, but I owe you an update. My sister passed away a few months after my last post. It wasn't anyone in the family, and after everything, the judge ensured none of them could come near us again. She was not healing as quickly as we thought she was. Even though she laughed and went to therapy, she was still hurting deeply. I feel like I failed her. I keep thinking about what I missed, what I should have done differently, and how long she suffered. Some days I feel angry. Some days I feel broken. I stay here now for my mom and my younger siblings. I just wanted you all to know what happened. Some final comments. Commenter 1. This is such a tragic end to all of this. Nobody should ever go through that. Commenter 2. He did everything right as a brother, and it still wasn't enough to undo the damage they caused. This is my opinion about the story. This story is a devastating reminder that abuse doesn't happen in isolation. Silence, denial, and protection of the wrong person can destroy lives just as surely as the abuse itself. The original poster spoke up when others stayed quiet, and even though the ending is heartbreaking, the blame does not belong to him.
Story 2. Am I the asshole for leaving because my sister-in-law hid my shoes to keep me from taking walks? Sorry if there are any sentences that are missing words. This was over 5,000 characters when I first wrote it, so I had to edit it down. She is my sister-in-law, not my sister. My sister-in-law has 3 little ones, and her husband, who is my stepbrother, had to leave the country for work for a few months. I offered to stay so I could help her out where needed, and she happily accepted. I live across town, so not that far. I had been there for 3 days when my sister-in-law commented on me going on daily walks. I have taken a daily walk of at least 1 mile since October 2018. Yes, even with a cold. Yes, even in cold weather. Yes, to all of it. On nice days, the walk is usually 4 miles. At my sister-in-law's place, I started taking a path that was about 2 miles. I asked if she wanted me to watch the kids while she got some exercise, and she scoffed and said she was too busy, but that it must be nice. I was a little puzzled since I was offering to help. But the comments kept coming. She kept trying to poke holes, saying things like, "But it's not really a mile every day, right?" And what would you do if you broke your foot? Would you get anxious if you couldn't take a walk? Then, one morning, I could not find my shoes. My sister-in-law woke up an hour later. I was eating breakfast with the kids and I asked her about them. She told me to go check by the back door, and when I came back, she pointed at them by the door and said I must have missed them. I took my walk after telling her that her joke was not funny. She was annoyed when I got back and told me that I thought I needed to see a therapist over my anxiety or obsession. I told her that I do have a therapist, and she said I clearly needed a new one because this one was not helping. I asked her point blank why it bothered her so much that I wanted to take a walk. She said I was supposed to be there to help her with the kids and that I was disappearing for hours at a time. I told her that my walks take about 30 minutes and that I do it while the kids have downtime. I put my shoes in the guest room with the rest of my things and they were gone the next morning. I finally said forget it, packed my things and left. My sister-in-law called me while I was on my way home and said I was overreacting and being childish and that this was why I was single and alone. I told her that I do not play these stupid games and that I would still pick up the girls and stay with them until she got home from work, but that she was on her own for everything else. Am I the asshole? Edit. Okay, I did not expect to be told that I am not the asshole to this degree. I thought a lot more people would argue that I was, since this has to do with taking care of kids. Comments. Commenter 1. Not the asshole. It is most certainly your sister-in-law who needs a therapist. Something about your wellness routine is triggering her in some way. It is weird and unhealthy. Commenter 2. Does she expect you to be her nanny or maid on duty 24 hours a day? No. Commenter 3. That is what I'm thinking. You are a grown adult volunteering your time that you do not have to volunteer. The least she could do is leave your routine alone. Personal commentary. This story highlights how quickly generosity can turn into entitlement when boundaries are ignored. Helping someone doesn't mean giving up your autonomy or your mental health. If someone resorts to manipulation to control you, walking away is not overreacting, it's self-respect. Story 3. Am I the asshole for telling my father to either break up with his girlfriend or leave me alone about my baby? For context, my father is dating a younger woman who openly wants to have kids. He already has 3 adult children and, just as openly, does not want any more. Some time ago, they decided to wait a few years to see if either of them would change their minds. Otherwise, they planned to break up. I told my father it was a bad idea, but he did not care. I am pregnant. This will be my husband's and my first baby, as well as the first grandchild on both sides of the family, so everyone is very excited. However, my father's girlfriend has been extremely over the top. She takes every opportunity she can to try to get involved in my pregnancy. To give a few examples, she calls me almost every day with name suggestions or parenting tips. Anytime I tell her and my father about something I am planning for my baby, she feels the need to explain what she would do or buy instead. She frequently asks whether I am having a boy or a girl because apparently she has different shopping lists for both. We already know the sex and the name, but we will not announce either until the baby is born. She has also asked whether she can attend one of my ultrasounds to see what it is like. Dealing with her has been very overwhelming. Even if she is just being caring, we were never even remotely close before my pregnancy, so her behavior has been making me extremely uncomfortable. On Saturday, I stopped by my father's place to pick up some of my old things. When I got there, he was arguing with his girlfriend. They said it had to do with my baby, so they explained it to me. My father's girlfriend wanted him to turn either the guest bedroom or the home office into a nursery to make it easier for them to babysit my child. My father did not want to get rid of either room. I tried to be polite at first. I told them I was not planning on having them babysit and that I probably wouldn't use their hypothetical nursery when there was a perfectly good one at my place. But my father's girlfriend said they had been waiting so long for there to finally be a baby in the family, and she wanted to spend as much time as possible with my child. That was when I lost my patience. I said that I understood they disagreed about having a baby, but that it was not my problem. I then told them to either break up or leave me alone because I was done dealing with this. The next day, my father called me. He said he understood that I was frustrated and agreed that his girlfriend had been going too far, but argued that she was just excited and trying to help me and that I was being rude to her by denying it so firmly. He was especially upset about what I said because his relationship was none of my business and I had no right to comment on it. My husband is on my side, and so is my brother. My sister is fairly neutral. The more I think about it, the more mixed my feelings get. Am I the asshole? Let's take some comments. Commenter 1. Not the asshole. The girlfriend is the one being rude by trying to shove herself into your pregnancy experience. Setting up a nursery without even asking you is wild behavior. It is time to put a stop to her involvement because she is going to keep pushing. That woman has some serious baby fever. Reply from original poster. She has had baby fever for years. I genuinely do not know why she is still dating my father. Commenter 2. She probably thinks she will change his mind eventually. It may have finally set in that he will not actually change his mind, so now she sees your baby as her chance at sort of having a baby. Reply from original poster. It has been 4 years. She's 40. Could it really have taken this long to set in? Update. Hey everyone, I went through your comments and took the time to reflect a bit more. I think I was too tired and frustrated when I wrote my first post, so I wanted to have a clear head before dealing with everything. As exhausting as it has been to deal with my father's girlfriend, I know how to manage it. Calls can be ignored, messages can be muted, and excuses can be made. I have done all of the above before. The real problem is the point it's gotten to. I strongly believe in only cutting ties as a last resort, so the fact that I actually considered blocking her scared me a little. I've only done that to 3 people before, and they did a lot worse. I don't care what decisions my father and his girlfriend make about their relationship. I know what I would do in their shoes, but I don't have to tell them that. They're both adults who should know what they are doing by now, but whatever they do, I cannot let it affect me and my child. When I told my father I was done dealing with this, I meant it. My father and I had lunch together on Tuesday, and I decided to bring this up. The first thing I told him was that from moving forward, I would not share any information about my pregnancy with his girlfriend. After I have given birth, she will not babysit or be left alone with my baby at any point, nor should she expect to get more pictures or information than my father gets. He was not happy about that, but I did not leave a lot of room for argument. My father did try to turn it into a discussion about how I don't like his girlfriend and act too cold towards her. That's not true, and it's not the first time we've had that discussion. He's always hated the fact that my girlfriend and I are not close. Once that was settled, I told my father that as much as I don't care what he decides to do, his relationship problems have spilled into my and my baby's lives, so I do have the right to comment on them. I told him that he needs to understand that even if he changes his mind about having kids one day, he doesn't really have a deadline to figure that out. His girlfriend is 40 years old and very clearly wants children. At the very least, they need to have an actual conversation about what they both want and decide how to proceed. But whatever they do, she will not get her motherhood fix through my child. My father agreed with me in the end. He said he would talk to her, but I don't expect to hear more about this anytime soon. Additionally, no plans for a potential nursery at his place are moving forward. He did not want that either, so it was not hard to get him to promise that. I'm not going to lie, I don't think this will end well for them. If they choose to stay together, at least one of them will end up unhappy. But like I told my father, I'm done. They are not my problem anymore. My only concern from now on is making sure my baby is safe. Whatever happens, I have what it takes to deal with it. Thank you all for everything.
Update 2. Hey everyone, I remember telling myself I would write one final update once it was all over, and then I completely forgot about it. Life has been chaotic. My father did talk to his girlfriend back in August, and he said she told him she understood. It did not feel that way from my end, but at least she stopped calling me. At that point, I was too pregnant and too tired not to take that as a win. I did not hear much about them for the next few weeks, but I was told they had started having problems again. My daughter was born in November. We originally did not want visitors, but my husband and I decided to make exceptions for both of our mothers. No one else came. My father and his girlfriend met the baby a couple of days after we brought her home. She saw my daughter twice and was difficult to deal with both times. She wanted to hold her constantly and hesitated to give her back to us. She asked to change her diaper, which I shut down, and wanted pictures every 30 seconds. During the second visit, I said I needed something from the pharmacy, and she tried to convince me to let her watch my baby while my father and I went to get it. I said it was not urgent and that I would ask my husband to get it on his way home. 2 weeks later, they broke up. That was in early December, and I did not get details until right before Christmas. My father talked to me about it briefly, but he told my aunt everything, and I got most of the information from her. They started fighting around September because my father's girlfriend had bought baby items, including a high chair, baby-proofing kits, diapers, and a baby memory book. She had already filled the book with some of my information and the last ultrasound picture I had sent my father. She said she planned to use it to hopefully convince me to let her babysit. My father believes she was also trying to convince him to let her set up a nursery again. They apparently broke up for about a week back in 2024 because I got engaged, and she tried to use that to convince him that they should have kids. According to my father, they got back together because they loved each other too much to give up what they had. At my wedding later that year, she told my aunt she couldn't wait for me to have a baby. The final breakup dragged on because none of their fights ever went anywhere. Knowing my father, that does not surprise me. About a week after their second visit with my daughter, they tried to invite us over, but we already had plans. That was when she finally accepted that I was not willing to leave her alone with my daughter and that she would not be seeing my baby as frequently as she wanted. They broke up for good a few days later. I have not heard much from my father's now ex-girlfriend since then. She tried to ask me for pictures of my daughter around Christmas, which was when I blocked her. That was pretty much it. My relationship with my father is also a little less tiring than usual. But the best part of all of this is that I was not told about any of it until after everything was over. At the very least, my request to be left alone was respected. Most importantly, I did not have to deal with that drama while I was pregnant. I will be done with my maternity leave in March. For now, I'm getting to know my daughter. I can't even begin to describe how much I love this child. Sometimes I get overwhelmed just thinking about it. Again, thank you all for everything. This is my last post. Final comments. Commenter 1. I wonder if she thought that you would hear her thoughts on parenting and see the scrapbook and legitimately think, wow, she is really an expert at this. I will just give her my baby, as though that was ever going to be the outcome. So she kind of kept dating your dad to get your baby? That is wild. Reply from original poster. I can't be certain what she actually wanted, but I think she realized we weren't close and that she probably wouldn't spend as much time with my baby as she wanted, which is why she wanted to babysit. The baby book freaked me out a little, not gonna lie. Commenter 2. Did the ex-girlfriend keep the baby book? Reply from original poster. I'm not sure whether she kept it or not. I haven't been to my father's place since before the breakup. Commenter 3. I would be worried because she put all your personal information in that book. Reply from original poster. I'm not too worried about that. I think she just filled out memory book information, like my name, my husband's name, our family tree, and my due date. I bought a baby memory book for myself, and that's pretty much all you can fill out before the baby is born. There are sections about how you found out and how the dad reacted, but nothing beyond that. I don't think she wrote down my social security number or anything like that.
It freaked me out because why would someone fill out a memory book for a baby that isn't theirs? I wouldn't be as bothered if it had just been a scrapbook or something like that. Personal commentary. This story shows how blurred boundaries can quickly turn excitement into entitlement. Wanting a child doesn't give anyone a claim over someone else's baby. Setting firm limits was not cruel, it was necessary to protect both the parent and the child. Thanks for staying to the end. If you enjoyed the stories, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more interesting Reddit stories.